Hello, accountability buddies. It is vlog number 49. And, I don't know if this is gonna come out. Sometimes what's in the background is visible, and sometimes what's in the background or through my windshields is not visible. I'm back at Kings Beach and Red Rock Park. I'm gonna walk out towards Nahant Beach, and, again, like I've done this a couple of times and I've always say it, I may not get much, if any, footage here. There are a lot of people walking, and I always feel awkward about getting video with other people in it. So yeah, I might not shoot much video. I might shoot a little bit. I've got about an hour before I need to go to work, so I'm gonna be able to get a good walk in. Also, the ocean is like intense, right now, so I'm thinking I'm gonna get some, ocean sounds and tack it onto the end of the video. I do like doing that. And it's not visible right now, but if you hear the noise, it is super, super windy out. I might regret going for a walk here today, because that wind is just gonna cut through my light, down jacket. Like I'm not wearing anything. And so I'm happy I'm going for a walk today. Initially I'm getting into the weather report here. When I looked at the weather report, the initial report said we were going to get rain all day yesterday, all day today, and all day tomorrow. Not a huge amount, but enough that it was going to mist and rain most of the day. And we did get some rain early this morning, same as yesterday. Over in my city, it was pretty sunny. The sun was breaking through the clouds. Here at the ocean, I'm close to the ocean, but I'm a little bit inland. About a mile. Not even. Half mile from the beach? Whatever. It is much grayer and overcast here than it was in my city. Also way windier. The wind is super intense right here. So yeah, so I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to see how much I actually get in, before I'm either too cold or have to head back to work. So I park in a spot near the, First Church of Christian Scientists, here in Lynn, on the Lynnway. I park in front of that because it's pretty close to a crosswalk with a light. And this is one of those things that terrifies me as a pedestrian and terrifies me when I'm on my bike. And that's distracted drivers. The last time I was here, I used the pedestrian crosswalk with a light. It had turned red for 3 seconds at that point, and I had walked into the street, and I looked to my left, and a pickup truck was barreling down at me, and the guy wasn't looking up. He was clearly looking at his phone, and there was a moment where I was like, I'm gonna get hit, and I paused, and he looked up and came to a screeching halt, at before the crosswalk, but also all of the cars behind him had seen the red light, and they were stopped. They had slowed down and stopped. So, but again, it's that the thing that terrifies me is the distracted drivers, the driver staring at their cell phone as they're driving, and cause they're not staying in their lane. And also, now that we have a hands-free law in Massachusetts, a lot of people are keeping their cell phone down in their lap. So they're not, and this is what that guy was doing. I could see the top of his cell phone over his steering wheel. But he was keeping his phone on his steering wheel and looking down at it. And he was texting. And I see it all the time as a driver. I had a woman yesterday who was swerving all over her lane, and she was on her phone, and it got to a point where I had to get ahead of her, or she was going to sideswipe me. And because she has a much larger vehicle, and I don't know if you just saw that Lincoln, that probably on their phone, people are just gonna start getting into way more accidents. And I know a lot of people have gotten into distracted driving accidents because they've been on their phone. It's just so dangerous, and it terrifies me as a pedestrian. It terrifies me when I'm on my bike. And I keep my phone, in a, a display thing, and I don't text and drive. I don't, like, if someone calls me and I'm in the car, I don't answer. I don't want to talk on the phone while I'm driving. I really just want to concentrate on the drive, and keep myself safe and keep everyone around me safe. I mean, I'm driving a multi-thousand-pound vehicle that if I hit a pedestrian or I hit a cyclist, I am causing them a great deal of harm. So I don't want to do that. But that's my, my terror. And I have been hit. Most of my friends who cycle regularly or bike regularly, commute by bike regularly, have all been hit. Some of them repeatedly. And one of our good friends was hit by a truck deliberately. The truck purposefully sideswiped him. It's crazy when you think about it. Like, the road rage in Massachusetts is mind-boggling. And yet I still want to ride my bike. As I'm driving into work, I'm looking for places with, safe bike lanes. And the route I regularly take to work, it would not be safe. I'm going to have to look for an alternate route. I do know my friend, when he bikes from our mutual city, to our mutual workplace, he rides along this road, and much of it does have a bike lane. And, I could talk more about the importance of bike lanes for cyclists, but also pedestrian traffic and runners. But I'm not going to go into that here. So yeah, I'm going to go get my walk on. I have been, breaking in my new Antora 2s. And so I took a look at the two shoes side by side, and the difference that I notice in them is that the knit structure of my red or pink, I think they're magenta, so they're on a magenta red side. They're on that pinkish red color frame. Those have a slightly different knit structure, and also the screen printed areas that have additional strength. When I was reading about it, it's called TPU. It's like a layer of stronger plastic over the top of the knit. That structure is different than on my Rainbow Antoras. And now I've got my Rainbow Antoras on right now because I'm trying to alternate days where I wear them so that hopefully I'm increasing their longevity. And now that I've got the Rainbow Antoras on, I'm not noticing as much of a difference in the rubber sole on my feet as I'm driving. So I'm wondering if as I'm walking it's going to feel a little different. It feels stiffer than I remember them being, or just remember them being super comfortable. They are super comfortable, but I think the big difference is in that knit structure and the screen printed TPU layer that gives that knit a little more strength. And so that makes the outer shell of the shoe more stiff, which I think makes the sole stiff too. But I'm not sure. But anyway, wow, the wind is howling. There's a broken do not enter sign that's just rattling like crazy. So just a lot of noise. So anyway, I'm going to go get my walk on, and I will see you next time. Also, thank you for watching and the support and the thumbs up, the comments. I appreciate them all. And I'll go back to it. I'll see you next time. Bye and thanks.